something else. All right, anyway, that's fine. I guess we'll just make it out of the recording then. Okay, cool. So then let's start with the part one. What I'm gonna do is let's cover the general stuff. So where the like what's going on in Dubai, where all the activities going to take place. So let's start with that. Yeah, once again, feel free to interrupt, like to submit any question in the chat. I asked Ksenia to read what's going on in the chat. So Ksenia, if you will see that anyone has any questions while I'm showing something, feel free to interrupt me, and we'll just play it by the ear. Okay, cool. So let's start. I hope everyone can see my screen. So first of all, I guess 90, if not all of you, would be arriving to Dubai International Airport, which is very close. It's like in the old city center. Some of you might be arriving to the Sharjah Airport, which is just like 15 minutes away driving from Dubai International Airport. And maybe like, I don't know, 1-2% of you would be arriving to the airport, the new airport called Al Maktoum International. It's located here. But again, like Dubai stretches all the way from this airport up until this airport. And to be honest, like driving wise, it doesn't take more than 35 minutes and the traffic is really low. So like entire city can be crossed in like 40-45 minutes maximum. And so first of all, once again, majority of you would be arriving to the Dubai International Airport. How to get to the conference venue and how to get around the town specifically. So in Dubai, we have now 3 major metro lines, and the entire city is stretched along one highway, which is called Sheikh Zayed Road. Everyone knows Sheikh Zayed Road. That's the major, it's like 16-line road that stretches through the entire city and then goes on and on and on through the entire, I would say, entire country. It's stretched along the shoreline, and it's like the major transportation area that takes you to different places around the city. And so the primary way to like go around the city on a budget is to take the metro. So the red line of the metro stretches, it starts from the airport and it just goes alongside the E11, the Sheikh Zayed Road. So it literally starts here and it goes round. It stops near the Burj Khalifa, which is the, you probably know it, yeah, the biggest building in the world, the tallest tower in the world. But yeah, then it just stretches over and over. You can see that the metro stations are like every 1.5 kilometers. So yeah, and then they go into the World Trade Center. So World Trade Center is the place where the event is going to be. And it's located literally just 15 minutes away on the metro from the airport. The metro stops working at around 1 a.m., starts at somewhere around like 5:30 a.m. And it's very cheap, it's easy to get on. And the way it's structured is that, you know, you can just take the metro directly from the airport terminal and go directly to the conference venue if your hotel is located here. And then goes the second advice is, so the first advice is, of course, if you want to save on the transportation, take the metro. And the second advice, if you're still due to select your accommodation options, try to settle along the Sheikh Zayed Road, along the red line. So it's, you know, on a booking.com or an Airbnb, you can just, you know, just highlight this area and just try to find the accommodation. Just try to find accommodation in this region along the Sheikh Zayed Road. But again, yeah, like the rule of thumb is that if you can walk from your hotel to the metro station, preferably the MRAT, the red line, you're fine. You know, you will like always be on time. It's predictable. It's cheap, etc., etc. If you find yourself in a situation where you know you will base somewhere here, you will end up taking the taxis. Taxis are available always, and the lead time to take taxi through the app is usually like not more than 3, 4, 5 minutes in all the major areas. And the best way to book a taxi is the local subsidiary of Uber, which is called Karim. So Karim is just similar to your fancy Uber app, and it has, you know, again, apps for iOS and Google and Android, whatever. It accepts all major international credit cards. You can register, like it's available across all different App Store countries. Yes, you can use your Uber app. It also works here. But if you want the best experience, just install the Karim app in advance, because that would take care of your transportation and the like even like food delivery, couriers, whatever. So like super app of Dubai. Everything about transportation is there. So we can take the taxis, which is the like cheap option here. The cars are the more like luxury options, the Lexus and etc., etc., etc. Then there are bikes, foods, shopping, delivery, whatever. So yeah, that's how to do the transportation out of the city. You can do the rent a car option. To be honest, it's not very affordable right now due to the Expo, because once again, first of October was the first day of operation of the Expo 2020. And what we can see here is that the majority of the car rental centers have bumped up the prices to like significantly 30–40%. And it's not really convenient, but if you know, organize yourself in small groups and you rent car for like 3–4 people, then it probably would be yeah, just also a good affordable solution. But otherwise, yeah, like a mix of a typical Dubai resident would use a mix of taxi plus metro. It's quite convenient, or just taxi. So it's not that expensive. So for example, the ride on the taxi. So yeah, about the transportation to end up on this. So when you arrive to the airport, all of the airports do have the organized lanes and waiting lines for the taxis. And yes, there are some smugglers or people who would, you know, try to offer you their personal services. Do not work with them. Just go directly towards like signs towards the taxi line, the waiting line, and you'll be taken into the proper taxi. So, and whenever you see taxis, try to go to Toyotas. That's the yellow taxis. They're cheaper than the black cars, Lexuses, which are also there. Every taxi coming from the airport and every taxi in the city would accept the credit cards. International should work also fine. So, and yeah, like, and the rides, the fare from the airport to this area where the exhibition conference will take place would be around 15 to 25-ish dollars. But I think it would be, yeah, like more of like $25–30 maximum. So yeah, you can pay cash, you can pay by credit card. Then also on some starter kit stuff. So when you be still at the airport, there are booths to buy a tourist SIM card. So there are two major mobile operators. One is called Du, second is called Etisalat. Du also have a subsidiary of Virgin Mobile. And basically they're all the same. They have same offers on tourist plans. All they need is your passport. To get a SIM card takes 5–7 minutes. There's usually no waiting lines at the airport. Those shops usually work 24/7. And you can get a decent plan with 6 gigabytes of the data, local and local calls for $25-ish, something like that. And it's something that is strongly recommend because in this case, you can be always connected. And they also at least do now support the eSIM. So you can just, have the additional SIM card. If your phone supports the eSIM, you can just have an additional SIM card, local one through the eSIM. And then in that case, you don't need to swap your existing SIM card. All right. What else? I guess, yeah, I guess that was a part one. Maybe I can end it up with just general overview where, again, if you still are choosing where to book the hotel, let me just briefly end the part one with just briefly outlining the different areas of the city. So how we're going to do that is, yeah, so I'll have my magic highlighter. Yeah. So this area is called the Old Town. It's called Deira. Deira is the old Arabic city. So it means that it looks like Hong Kong. It looks like any other Indonesian city or a big Indian city. So it's nice. It's historic. It's primarily filled with the residents from the sub-Indian continent. And it's a nice place to explore, but not a very nice place to live in because you would be there's a lot of traffic there. And once again, I would recommend to save it for for your day off when you have some time to walk. And there are, one life hack that they have is that in the when you're browsing the Google map, you can always look for these yellow areas. So yellow areas means that there's some touristic attraction there, and it works here. Same data, here's nothing, but here are all the nice touristic areas where you can walk. But again, I would not super recommend to be based out there when you're traveling for business, such as this case. But in general, that's the nice area to be in. Next, concerning the areas. So where I am now, yeah, give me a second. Boom. So yeah, once again, the conference is going to take place in a place called Trade Center. This is here. This is like a fancy, nice looking downtown. So primarily, yeah, this area is called downtown. And they're all skyscrapers, the malls, there's Dubai Mall, there's Burj Khalifa down there. And all of this area is, sorry, this is a few bits. Yeah, so all this area is called downtown. So all the skyscrapers and nice towers are there. There are good budget hotels. Again, you can select, here along this line, or here along this line, or even around the World Trade Center. You can select good budget hotels such as Novotel, Ibis. They usually cost somewhere between $90 to $140 per day, and this is budget for the Dubai, I'm sorry to say, especially in this time of the year, especially due to the Expo. But yeah, then this area, entire area, is called Jumeirah, from here all the way to here. And there you have nice streets with villas and small boutique hotels. You can find some budget hotels there. And it's a nice place to be. It's not busy, it's calm, it's nice to, it's usually walking distance to the beach, but you always have to take a taxi to get to the conference. So yeah, all this area called Jumeirah. Yeah, and you could settle there, but expect that you will be commuting by taxi every day, or at least go to the metro and then take the metro and then take the metro station to the World Trade Center and then walk to the conference. Yeah, so places that you might consider, but those questionable, is first the Al Quoz area. There's not a lot of hotels, but there are some places. So Al Quoz is all industrial area. So you don't want to end up here. So this all areas called telcos, yeah, this industrial area. So try to avoid being based there. Same goes for Varsha. Varsha is like a working class blue collar accommodation, and it's quite cheap, but it's affordable. And if you want just to, take an affordable option, you can settle there. It looks far from the conference, but it's quite easy to get there. Yeah, and then another I would end with this. Like there's another area called Jumeirah and Dubai Marina side, etc. It's relatively far. It's nice, but you'll be quite far from the conference. So commuting one way with the traffic and everything might take 40 minutes, but it's a nice place to visit. Okay. Yeah, I guess that was end of part 1. I hope it was useful. So if there are no major, yeah, Iona, you raise your hand.
Yes, I have a question. What about Al Jadaf area?
Yeah, Al Jadaf is the new built area that has quite a lot of construction, but I think right now it starts to become really nice, and it's very close to the conference area. And yeah, there are some good hotels there, and yeah, I would recommend that as well. It's like very new. It's I guess the newest district of Dubai, and it's nice. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? I guess accommodate 1 or 2, and then we can move on to the second part. Okay, yeah, so we covered the transportation, the accommodation, getting rounds, the taxis, the SIM cards. So yeah, let's look into what we have in the questions. All right, I'll try to chip them in really quick, but feel free to interrupt me with raising your virtual hands, and then I will stop. So yeah, expenses per day, those are quite typical. So if you're commuting by metro, your ride would be somewhere between $1.5 to $3 per fare one way. If we're talking taxi, general fare on the taxi would be one way $15 to $18. Your average meal would be $20 to $30 if you just go to the random restaurant. And optimize for main course would be around $12 to $20 usually average if the place is not fancy. If the place is fancy, it can be $100 per meal easily. So yeah, those would be your expenses per day. And there's plenty of budget cafes around the World Trade Center within walking distance there, because it's huge. There's usually 2-3 trade shows at one time. All right, so how to drive with cheapest form of transportation. So I guess we covered that. There are also a bunch of the e-scooter companies around the town, and now is the season. So late October, the weather gets nice, and you can, using Kareem and some other apps that you can just discover in App Store, take advantage of the e-scooter apps, the e-bikes apps, and as I said, Kareem is best for taxis. So yeah, explore different options. They're all convenient here. Next, public transport. This is important. Do not ever try to do to commute by bus anywhere. Buses are considered they don't exist here. So you will see the buses, but they are unpredictable. You can't really rely on them. They forget them. Forget buses at all. So yeah, only metro, taxis, rent a car. That's it. So do not use the buses at all. And there's in Dubai Marina area, there's a tram. This quite touristic tram. So walking is usually faster than taking the tram, and it only goes in one small circle. So yeah. Okay, how to navigate around and where the Expo Dubai will take place. So navigation, Google Maps is the best. I think you can use Maps.me, 2GIS, and the others, but Google Maps works just fine. It has all the English guidance, navigation, and everything. So, and yeah, important, by the way, everyone, literally everyone who would you meet in your journey would speak at least some English, some basic, but you have, if you know English, you have zero problems communicating with the residents here, local population, or anyone who you would confront during your stay. It's like, don't even think it's an issue. So everyone understands English, and all the guidance, both vocal audio guidance, let's say in the public transportation or in the airport, and the written navigation is always made at least in two languages, the Arabic and in English. So do not worry about that. To quickly address where the expo will take place. So the easiest way to go to the expo is take the red line, and then from area of World Trade Center, it would take you, I think, 50-ish minutes to get to the expo. I think it's either direct line, so you just need to go to the ends, or you need to make one, like switch to the different line, but then it would take you all the way to the expo site. And regarding the expo, so you can have, like, of course, go to the website and purchase a ticket there. It's quite cheap. It's like for one day, I think it's like $25-ish. It starts working at 10 a.m. in the morning. Work 7 days a week. And the best way to get there is by metro. I've been there myself. Even if you like have a luxury going there by car, there's traffic. The parking lots are located, like 10-15 minutes walking. Imagine you would like park here and then you have to walk all the way to the expo site. Whereas if you go by metro, then the metro stops just at the front gate of the expo. So best way to get to the expo is by metro, but it's quite far from the World Trade Center, I would say. So like expect an hour to get there, more or less. Okay, let's go back to the questions. How to go from airport to the World Trade Center? We covered that by metro or by taxi. Is it safe to travel alone, sightsee alone? So UAE in general is extremely safe. So I won't go deep into the storytelling here, but I've never experienced, or none of my friends ever experienced any problems here. And to tell a story, I never locked my apartment. I never locked my car. It's okay to leave the car in the parking lot with, doors are locked, the windows are lowered, and the car keys are on the windshield. No one takes care because the security is everywhere, cameras are everywhere, so it's safe. And even I would say that the only place where it's moderately unsafe is at the places which are called labor camps. Labor camps is the accommodation for the construction workers usually, and they are located outside of the city, and that's the only place where I would not recommend to go after the sunset. That's the only place, but there's nothing to do there. Yeah, so it's like just accommodation for the blue collar workers. Aside from that, even if you go deep into the oldest part of the town and the streets are not very clean and there's some construction going on, believe me, it's very safe. It's very safe, even if you are like a lone female walking in some old part of the city, it's safe. Yeah. All right, let's move on. So behavioral handling of women. In terms of how to dress and handling of women in general. So here the notion of the government in UAE is that they try to include the women as much as they can in the government work and all the public and private sector. And women are respected everywhere. For example, I'll give you one story. That's in both the tram and the metro, you will see 3 types of the carriages there. So first is like the normal, and you can just buy regular normal tickets. The second is called gold ticket. It's usually like twice more expensive, and it looks like the business class or economy class of the major airline. And one carriage is called women only. And it's not because they want to separate women and put them in a separate carriage. No, it's because they want to if the women, they feel uncomfortable to be in the train with other men, then they can just go to the place where men are not allowed. So that's like gives you an idea of how women are treated here. And in terms of how to dress, so there are like in general in town, in Dubai, there are no restrictions or even like recommendations to dress moderately. So, especially if you go to any of the hotels or any places where the alcohol is served, you can see people, in, I would say, almost without any clothes. And it's normal, it's fine, accepted widely. In terms of so 2 points. In terms of the World Trade Center itself and the business meetings, business agenda, you are expected to, and that's both for men and women, you're expected to not wear the slippers, shorts, and t-shirts. But I would say t-shirts is fine. But yeah, preferably, if knees are covered, that would be the normal recommendation. Ksenia, maybe you have something to add about that, because I'm not expert in that.
Yeah, I'd say my general recommendation for women, it's polite to cover elbows and knees for work. Apart from that, yes, there's definitely no restrictions regarding the outfits. You might, it depends on how how confident you are, but you might feel more comfortable also dress it also covering at least knees when you are in the city, or just dress a little bit more.
Yeah, I would add on to that so we talked about Dubai, and in the United Arab Emirates there are 7 emirates and 7 major cities. And you most probably, you will stay only within Dubai, but in your sightseeing tours, you might end up in either Sharjah or Abu Dhabi. So Sharjah just is a place where, it's like Dubai ends with Deira, which is the old town, and then Sharjah immediately starts here. So Sharjah is just the extension of the old city of Dubai, and it starts from here. So Sharjah is different from Dubai, that it's alcohol-free, so alcohol is forbidden there. So it cannot be served, and if you're stopped with the alcohol in your car, you might get in trouble. But yeah, and it's more traditional place, and there, if you're going to Sharjah, and usually people go to Sharjah because it's the cultural center of the Islamic/Arabic culture here, although everything regarding the traditional Islamic culture. And there, I would advise both men and women to cover everything. Yeah, so there people expect people would look at you with maybe even someone will ask you hey, can you dress more politely? Maybe you will not be allowed to enter some museums if you're dressed with open knees or elbows. Yeah, that's Sharjah.
Also, one more thing about the outfits and the clothes. People love air conditioning here, so
yes.
Just take it and make sure you have a jacket or something just to to put on the t-shirt or something, even in Dubai, because otherwise you'll just freeze there.
Yeah, very good point.
Extremely, people learn it hard way, but yeah, you don't want to stop.
Exactly. So yes, good point about the weather. So end of October, we would be having around 32, 33 degrees Celsius. I didn't check the recent weather reports, but you can expect that during daytime, it's going to be 32, 33. And it's going to be not comfortable to walk in the open sun. And during the morning or after sunset, the sunset is really early. It's like 6:15, boom, sunset is there. The temperature would drop to 25, 27, 28, and it's going to be really comfortable. But as Ksenia pointed out, everywhere, if you go inside the bus stop, the metro, the water center, the hotel, it's going to be extremely cold. So like expect, to get a flu, you'll get a flu because, yeah, imagine you're like walking in the streets, it's like sun is shining, it's 35 or 33, then you walk into the hotel and it's suddenly like 21 or 18, whatever. So yeah, always, for example, when I go to the movies, I have the warm hoodie with me because I know that it's going to be freezing cold in the movies, for example, in the cinema. So yeah, good point. All right, that was concerning the, so that was Sharjah, and then Abu Dhabi, which is 90 minutes driving to the other Emirates. So it's mostly would be for the sightseeing, and if we have time today, we'll cover something about Abu Dhabi. But yeah, like do not expect to go there for like half day. You have to have a full day in order to go to Abu Dhabi, and also you need to double check about the PCR test and everything, and we need to cover that today, at least the PCR test. So yeah, but I wanted to say that Abu Dhabi is a little bit more strict as well on the attire and the outfit, but it's not as strict as in Sharjah. So yeah, all right, moving on, coming back to the questions. What cultural rules should I be aware as a woman? As I said, women are treated here this in a business environment the same as the men. So there are a lot of decision makers among the Emiratis, in space agency and space centers, universities. So that's normal to treat the woman as the normal business person. So there's nothing to be worried about. Unless again, Ksenia, you have something to add, maybe your experience was different.
No, not really. Actually, everyone is extremely polite. You'll feel very comfortable, very welcome. There's no need to get worried about that, for sure. Even a fun fact, I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was even more women working on the Hope probe than men. So I think it speaks for, yeah, it answers the question. So yeah, everyone is extremely polite, so don't worry about that.
Okay, cool. Best city districts for visit and authenticity. Okay, here I'll be very specific. So once again, that's going to be my personal experience, but I'll give you a few routes that I like, and I'll try to be like, to have them not far from the content itself. So first, if you want to like feel a bit of authenticity, what you do is you go and take a taxi to Al Sif. So you need to remember this place, Al Sif. So the taxi will drop you here, or you can park here, the underground parking, whatever. And then you can do a walk from here alongside this shore line. It's like reconstructed old historical buildings, so look really nice. And then you can explore all of this. And then you can end up in like restored historical district called Al Fahidi, or you can start vice versa. You can start from here. There's also the place where all the governments usually takes all the business people there for the Center of Cultural Understanding. And yeah, so in general, this Al Fahidi district is the place to go if you want to feel the authenticity of old Dubai. And there's Dubai Museum, so history of Dubai, which is quite good, touristic, but quite good, gives you a glimpse into the local culture. There's a Center for Cultural Understanding that I believe you need to check their schedule and some sessions there. And then, yeah, so once again, you can either start here, do a nice walk here, and end up here, or vice versa, you can start here and go there. So that would be like one scenic route. If you feel like you want to do more, well, while you will be walking, you will stumble upon the marine transport station. There are small, there are small boats that would take you to the another side of the river. They usually like cost either a coin or you know, just a fare on a normal plastic card that you use in metro. Then you just, you know, take rides to that side and back. If you go to that side, you can enter the historical part. That's something that, you know, I would also recommend if you have at least half a day. So you can go to the goat souk and all these like traditional urban bazaars. If you've ever been to Istanbul, that's what you would expect from all these bazaars. So yeah, like you can explore this part of the city, but it's harder to get in, it's harder to get out, and then it's like less, it's like less shiny. This place is like optimized for walking tours, whatever. By the way, talking about the payments and everything. So cash, you don't really need cash. I don't use cash at all, to be honest. Like every place accepts credit cards, debit cards. You have ATMs everywhere. ATMs do accept the international debit cards without additional commission usually, but expect that your bank would probably charge you somewhere between $5 to $6 per withdrawal. But yeah, like normally you don't really need cash. So yeah, like every single shop, restaurant, whatever would accept the major credit cards. So yes, you can, you know, if I were you, I would go in the airport and withdraw like $100 just in case. But otherwise, that's it. Okay, let's go. Yeah, so sorry, that was just one route. Let me give you another one. Okay, another one which is really favorite of mine is the place called Guide Beach. And that's the closest and the best place to experience the like beach and the shoreline, and it's not crowded. It's like what you need to save for yourself is where to start. So there is the walking lane, which is like nice walking route that starts here. Yeah, it's called Public Beach Running Track Start, and that's the running track, but it also has a lane for pedestrians, for cyclists, whatever. So it starts here and it stretches for 7-ish kilometers from here up until you can see it like passes all these places. And that's again, this is a public beach, but it has the bathrooms, toilets, public showers, public workouts, whatever, gym, like outdoor gym. It has all the, the most important showers and changing the rooms, but also the cafes, cafeterias, parking slots, whatever. And yeah, the only thing that you don't have is you don't have the umbrellas. But again, because it's huge, it's not crowded, because the public beaches, which are free and located in more touristic areas, they will be super crowded, especially in this part of the year. But yeah, like second route is just go in the beginning or the end or any spots in this lane, like all the way from here, where the beginning of the running track and then 7 kilometers there, and you will experience like the best way to go there during the sunset is beautiful, because the sun will be just here, and then it's really nice to go there and take just go to the local cafe, whatever. Okay. Again, at this point of time, I'll be only talking about the generic stuff, some hidden gems. I don't think we'll have time for that, but like that's number 2. Number 3 is, of course, the Burj Khalifa and the area around that. So here, my personal recommendation would be, again, take half a day. In half a day, what you need to do, usually to all my friends who arrive to Dubai first time, I'll tell them, hey, pop up at Dubai Mall at around 3 p.m. when it's a day off. Go around the Dubai Mall, because there are some sightseeing inside, such as the aquarium, the waterfalls, something else, I don't remember. And then usually, you know, it will take you like 2 to 3 hours to get around the Dubai Mall. You'll get hungry. And then by sunset time, around 6, try to get a table at any cafe facing the Dubai Fountain and Burj Khalifa, and just have a snack, have a meal there, because this like fountains, they do have the, how do you call it? Like they do the performance every 30 minutes, starting from 6 p.m. up until like 10-ish p.m. So yeah, like it would be nice to end up somewhere here and spend an evening here. Burj Khalifa itself, the tickets are expensive for the observation deck. Doesn't worth it, to be honest. If you want to get like there on a good time, usually the places are booked like for 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks ahead. If you want a fast track, it's gonna cost a fortune, like $150, whatever. To be honest, yeah, doesn't worth a dime, in my opinion. What I would do instead, if you want to have like almost the same view, one giveaway would be the restaurant called Salavi. Salavi is the restaurant which is located like on the 54th floor, and they have some deals on tasting menus, whatever. It's like a bar with a restaurant. It has even a better view than the Burj Khalifa itself. Like it will be observing the same area, slightly less altitude, but very nice view. And you would spend the same money that you would spend on a ticket to go to Burj Khalifa, just enjoying the snacks and drink, whatever. So yeah, like that's the place where I usually hang out with the tourists that are coming to town. But anyway, if you want to, you know, splurge in the Burj Khalifa, there is, of course, the observation deck, even several of them there. And there's also some bars which are located on the high floors. But again, I don't know, like my recommendation would be doesn't worth it, but it looks good from outside. Anyway, so that would be route number 3. First, Old Town, beach, downtown. To be honest, those would be 3 main ones that I would try not to miss, because they're close to the conference center, and those would be like the main ones. Yeah, let's stop here just to save some time to address all the questions. And then if we have time, or maybe we can connect after, I can give some more routes. And of course, you have Expo and Dubai Marina, but we'll save it for later. All right, behavior at the beaches. Yeah, here we need to touch base on COVID stuff. So in the touristic places, like the beaches, especially like public beaches, some people among my friends say that there are people like police that are asking people to wear masks. To be honest, like I don't wear the mask outside the buildings at all, and I've never been asked about that. So, you know, like, but everyone expects that you wear a mask inside any building or shop or supermarket, and it's quite safe. I would say that everyone follows the rules, and the vaccination rates are one of the highest in the world. And yeah, so it's like UAE started the vaccination, I believe like in September last year, so pretty early, maybe a little bit late, I don't even remember. But to date, I guess more than 70, even 80% of local population is vaccinated with 2 shots. So yeah, like about the beaches, so no one wears the masks at the beaches. At the beaches, there are paid ones, and usually, so okay, beach experience. You have 3 main free beaches. One is called La Mer, and that's located quite close to the Trade Center. You can see it's just opposite. That's number 1. Plenty of parking space, plenty of restaurants, and I think it should be it should be free. It's small, but it's free. Second would be the Kite Beach. That's the one that I told you about earlier, that also does have the park in the showers, etc. And then the third one, major one, would be the Dubai Marina Beach. It looks long, but I don't know. Last time I've been there was probably like in February, but I know it should be very crowded, especially end of October. It would be like super crowded, but free. So that's your one option to go to the free, one of the 3 free beaches. Second option would be to splurge for any of the beach clubs or these 5-star hotels. And usually, like if you, so like what you need to do is take any of the hotels. I'm only familiar with ones which are located here and here. So you can take any of these hotels, look at the offers that they have for beach access, beach club access. Usually it costs, it's quite pricey. So it's going to be like $40 to $50, but usually those are partially or fully redeemable against the bar and snacks. So like, you know, you pay $50 to access for the, to get access for the entire day, and you get access to the swimming pools, the even like usually like saunas, whatever, and the beach and the pool area and umbrellas, and you usually can exchange the payments for drinks, whatever. Okay, that brings me to another topic that I'm sure is somewhere on the list about consuming the alcohol. So Dubai is an extremely drinking city. Like people, the tourists, the residents get drunk here all the time. And it's fine. You know, you can see drunk people on the streets, I mean, around the bars, whatever. So it's fine to get drunk here. There are two, not problems, but things to remember. A, alcohol is only served at the bars and the restaurants which belong to the hotels. But because tourists here want to drink a lot of alcohol, the government decided that let's be very, let's give freedom to the building owners to name themselves a hotel. So it means that if you like look at the amount of bars here, it's like everywhere. So like bars are literally everywhere. I mean, within walking distance of the water center, you will find 10, 12 bars easily, like restaurants that serve alcohol. Second thing is that alcohol is extremely expensive. Extremely meaning that a pint of beer will cost you, like within Dubai, will cost you at least $10, $15 a pint. So it's very expensive. So you can expect that a glass of wine would cost like $18, $20 for the cheapest option. So it's very, very expensive. Yes, you can find some deals in the sense that they're like happy hours and everything, but you can search for them. And yeah, like you can search for them by just going to, maybe I'll have some research done on that later. But yeah, like the common rule of thumb is that it's very expensive to get drunk, but you can search for the happy deals. And I will give you two, I hope it's relevant for the audience, by the way, because I didn't see much questions about the alcohol. Oh yeah, how to save money in bars and alcohol. Okay, so yeah, two things that you can use in order to save. First, there is a legal delivery of the alcohol to whatever, to your hotel or whatever. So what you need to do is you go say liquor delivery Dubai. So I personally use the service called Centauros and also Alhambra Seller. So the way it works is that it's just the e-commerce shop. So you have cart, you have checkout, you have the, so yeah, advice number one, go and buy as many alcohol as you want as you can while you are at the duty-free at the arrival of the airport. So arrival of the airport in Dubai does have a large alcohol shop where the prices are moderate. They're like expensive, but of course, many times less expensive than you would get the alcohol in the bars. Second advice is that you can, like, if you want to find the cheapest alcohol in town, you go to this website, Centauros or Alhambra Seller, and they deliver within the same day. So if you place an order here online, so they sometimes expect you to pay in cash, so you have to withdraw cash, or they sometimes bring you the card machine, or sometimes allow you to make the checkout finally online using a credit card, but they deliver the same day. And you know, my friends sometimes like deliver 50 bottles, 90 bottles to their home. It's not a problem. So that's like the cheapest alcohol you can get. I mean, you can drive to those stores, but it's like 90 minutes driving there, and it doesn't worth that just to get alcohol. They deliver. And the third option is you have the liquor stores in Dubai. They are usually hidden in a sense that you will not see them. Like, I guess it's prohibited for them to make like ads, you know, on the road, like, hey, we should sell alcohol, whatever. But if you search for Google Maps, so like liquor stores, you'll find two major networks. One is called African Eastern, second is called MMI. So, and there's plenty of them around the city. Like, you have to probably drive there, but that's where you can get retail alcohol if you are inclined to do so. So yeah, like MMI and the African Eastern would be the place to get moderately cheap alcohol. So it will be on par with the prices at the airport. But that's, again, if you need the liquor, that's the place to go. Finally, how to save on the liquor, especially in the bars. So there's an app called Entertainer app. The way it works is that, so if you have friends coming here, or you can network with the others in the chats, whatever, you download the app, you get pretty pricey subscription, which is, you know, like $100 a minimum. But what it does for you is that it gives you savings and 1+1 free offers on foods, even at the most expensive restaurants and at the bar drinks. So it's a little bit, so you have to do some work in order to understand what the right offer, but the app is nice. It's targeted at the residents, so that's why it's like annual subscription. But look, like, what you need to do in order to really, like, if you want to save, that's the way to save. What you do, you take 3-4 friends, whatever, one of you downloads the app and pays for that, then you just share the login details across 3, 4, 5 of you, and you go on and use it extensively for the entire week. Like, you can go to all these beach hotels, beach clubs, you can go to the fanciest restaurants and get, like, you know, 50% off your bill. I mean, it's usually like either 50% off your bill, or get one free, whatever. And there's like savings on the attractions, everything. So like all the consumer stuff is there, including the drinks at the bars, etc. So again, you need to do some investment time in it, but that's the real saver, I would say. That's how Dubai residents save and splurge on all those luxurious hotels and bars and everything. Yeah, and it's better than Groupon. Groupon is not really, doesn't really move a needle here in terms of savings, at least in my experience. All right, let's move on. So yeah, like, let me see. Yeah, so let's end up this list, and then we'll go to part 3, where let's make it more interactive, and then let's chat with you guys. Okay. Yeah, I guess we covered that. We covered the dress code. We covered the weather day night fluctuations. We covered transportation. PCR tests. So first of all, everyone who is arriving to Dubai or UAE in general will get tested upon arrival for free, and you will not miss that. So you'll not be allowed in the country unless you make a PCR test there. All of you will be advised, and I guess I would also advise to, and I think you have to download the local app called Al Hosn. So Al Hosn app is this QR code app that would automatically have your should at least automatically have your PCR test results downloaded into the application. And I know that's at least at the Expo. So what I know is that at the Expo and also in Abu Dhabi, you'll be asked to show the Al Hosn app, which has like different statuses, green status, yellow status, whatever. So what I know is that the negative PCR test, again, all of you will get the PCR test upon arrival. As far as I remember, negative PCR test upon arrival will give you 3 days worth of green status in Al Hosn app, that would take you to the Expo, and that would take you to all the places in Abu Dhabi. In Dubai, no one checks for Al Hosn app or PCR test at all. I'm not sure about the IAC itself, but I don't think they have any like special restrictions about the PCR test, because anyway, you all get tested upon arrival. The PCR tests. So the PCR tests. Ksenia, do you know anything about PCR tests in? Where would you go if you were to risk here?
No, not really. I think it's pretty easily Googleable. Just if you start looking for the locations. No, honestly, I don't know where to have a PCR test, but yeah, Pure House does it. It's a very good lab. I would recommend Pure House. Apart from that, I don't think I've tried anything else. Also, quick input on PCR tests. I think you still need a PCR test flying to Dubai, because they were checking mine last week.
That depends on the country where you're coming from, but yeah.
Yes. Point. And regarding the PCR tests and entering Abu Dhabi, it's still tricky because they recently changed the rules. So vaccination is the key here.
Yeah. So yeah, there was a question about getting free PCR test at the airport. So everyone who is arriving to UAE will get a free PCR test done at the airport at arrival, and you will get the reports to your mobile phone and a text message, or in that Hosn app, or I guess even to your email. So everyone will get tested, and you will get test same day or like next day within like 24 hours. Yeah, on the PCR test, my advice would be that what you need to know is A, almost every hospital should be able to make the PCR test, and B, the prices for the PCR test are fixed by the government, which means that it's like, I think it's between $15 to $40. I'm not sure about it. I know it's capped at 150 dirhams, which is roughly $35. But yeah, go for the hospital, call them, ask them, do you do the PCR walk in? Yes, go there. The only recommendation would be, there's a lot of drive-by or like drive-in centers. Do not go there on a taxi, because you end up in a taxi in a huge waiting line. So optimize for walk-in hospital where you can just arrive by taxi, go inside, take the test, leave. But I'm sure there will be more guidance at site at Trade Center, and I'm pretty sure the water center itself should have the PCR centers there as well. Yeah, but anyway, we'll do some more research and then find it. Okay, let's finish this off. Second part. Get local SIM card. Discuss that. Selection telephone operator. Discuss that. Where to eat? I would give you two options. So first, Zomato.com is a local Yelp, which is focused on the reviews for the restaurants. So I will not go into the specifics, but yeah, just register on Zomato. It will give you all the guidance by categories, whatever. And second thing, I will share my own list of the places which are not necessarily like local Arabic, Lebanese, whatever, but those are just nice, cozy, hidden gems, not touristic places that I like to explore this place and revisit them. So yeah, I'll share that. That will be my choice, my preferred choice of the places to go. Yes, the only thing is that one of them got closed recently. Yeah, anyway, right, let's move on. Yeah, tips, good question. So the rule is that you usually, if there was no alcohol on the bill, usually you top it at 10% of the bill, make it at least 10 dirhams, which is $2.5. Make it maximum, if you're like a group of less than 4, 25-ish dirhams, which is like roughly $7. If you have alcohol, just make it 10%. I would recommend doing cash because yes, you can ask to leave the tip on the card, but 99.9%, those money will never get in front of the actual waiter. So if you want to be polite to the restaurant, pay it on card. If you want to be generous to the waiters who do not earn a lot of money here, leave it in cash. And yeah, that's probably where those money that you withdrew at the airport would go into. All right. Was it money, bars, alcohol? Yeah, we discussed nightlife. To be honest, I have nothing to say about that, but yeah, I only know places. So yeah, let me put it this way. Nightlife. You need to explore the downtown, which is this side. So from Sheraton to Crown Plaza, I know there's plenty of clubs here. There are plenty of more expensive clubs in the IFC area here. And yeah, okay, nightlife is here. That's it. That's all I know. You can find it here around the World Trade Center. And of course, around the Burj Khalifa as well here. Best of all not touristic places to visit in a short time. Yeah, I guess I just covered that in those 3 routes. Those would be not very touristy places, so especially the old district and the beach. If you want to extend to some other places, you can go to Palm Jumeirah, and here you can visit Atlantis the Palm. One life hack how to get there. What I usually do is you make a reservation online or by phone in, let's say, Nobu or Saffron restaurant. You go there, you show that you have a reservation, you're taken inside, you can explore all these beautiful areas and never show up at the restaurant. No one will tell you anything. So yeah, because I know that they're sometimes strict on accessing the hotel, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's nice to go there, etc., etc. So yeah, if you go into Palm Jumeirah, Atlantis the Palm, and also you can just get a taxi here, drop off here, especially at the sunsets. You get rewarded with really nice scenic view. You can just walk here, it's free, or you can have a seat in one of those fancy 5-star hotels and take the most expensive pint of beer or glass of wine you ever had. Believe me, it's super expensive, but it's a really nice area because of view. There's also skydive. I know someone asked about the how to get dropped off the plane with the parachute. That's where you can make it. Costs $500 at least, so it's pricey. And then yeah, this place is nice. The marina, the Palm they told you about, and those would be it. So I don't think we have more time to discuss other routes. So okay, let's go back. Yeah, skydiving. What you need to do, you need to have $500 and go to, yeah, just go skydiving in Dubai. There are at least 2 places where you can do that. One in the desert, second is on the above the Palm. Someone said, yeah, I think that was covered in the chats. That's, I guess, it's outside of the scope of this meeting. Yeah, this, I guess I will answer in the chat. All right. That was the end of part 2. Let's be interactive here. Let's chat. Raise your hand if you want to ask a question, or just feel free to post anything in the chats. And Yaxeni, if you can help me to point out to any unanswered question in the chat, I would be also very grateful.
No, we don't have any unanswered questions. I've been squeezing them into your presentation.
Good. All right, any questions, unanswered questions, anything else you guys want to know, to discuss, to ask? You can raise your hand, you can do it in chats or whatever, and I'll be just checking my Yeah, I'm just checking my agenda here. Oh yeah, there is one app that I wanted to recommend called InstaShop. InstaShop is your one of the apps that will deliver you groceries or medicines from any local pharmacy in 10-15 minutes. So it works everywhere and it's quite cheap to use. So you just pay $1 or $2 on top of the normal price in the grocery shop or the pharmacy. So that will get you delivered painkillers or anything from grocery shops in 15 minutes anywhere. Also, if you want to know list of attractions, what to do, go to headout.com. That's the online travel agency where you can get, I wouldn't necessarily recommend to buy the ticket from them, but it's really good. They've done a really good job in just listing all the sightseeing in Dubai. And yes, you can then even United Arab Emirates. So yes, you can buy the tickets here, but it's just a very nice place to just, hey, give me the list of all the top attractions in Dubai. So I would definitely recommend that because this is all your touristic places listed with the place to book the tickets. So that's a very good spot to just understand, okay, what else do you guys have there? Also on the apps, we use Deliveroo to deliver the food from the restaurant. So if you get hungry at the venue and you find that you don't have time to go anywhere, reserve a seat somewhere in a cafe, just use Deliveroo and they will deliver the food from any restaurant to you, and it's a no-brainer. I guess that's it on my list. So yeah, again, I mean, if you have any specific questions, let us know. We can talk about the contemporary arts, the cultural sites, the mosques that you can visit, or if you have anything specific about any specific question about how to navigate around the World Trade Center area, we can talk about that. But I need some incoming questions. Okay, I can see a couple of them in the chat. Ashley, how's recommendation showing prescription for medications? Not really. So first of all, if you have international insurance, you can get inside of any hospital here and get a prescription. They work with all the major insurance companies globally. Second thing is at the pharmacies. So usually it's, if you're being polite and nice, you can get anything you want, which is legally sold, of course, without a prescription. So I had multiple stories like that when I had to get the medication for my grandma or some in-laws that were visiting Dubai, and we just didn't have a prescription. So it's fine. You can just negotiate with the store attendant in the pharmacy. Kauri, I have a couple of questions. Can you please repeat if we need to buy a card for the metro or just tickets? So you can buy tickets. It's going to be 20-25% more expensive than getting a plastic card. Plastic card, it's just, you have to buy the card itself plus top up the minimum balance, but the card itself costs like $2, whatever. So if you want to save on the metro and maybe use it somewhere else, but do not take the buses, then just buy a card. Try to use the golden ticket once in metro. It's fun. It's not that expensive. It's going to be like $4 instead of $2. You can splurge on that. We recommend to purchase a SIM card prior to arrival or in the airport. Do it at the airport. You will find version 2 or Etisalat. Affordable souvenirs and traditional stuff. So souvenirs, expensive souvenirs are always available at duty free when you will be flying out, yes, of course. Affordable souvenirs and traditional stuff. Very good question. Let me show. Of course, you'll find in any mall, you'll find a lot of touristic stuff, the souvenirs you can buy. Where to save on them, save meaning that you have to negotiate the price, is probably would be the where was that? The souk. So that first route that I did show to you, where was that? Where was that? Yeah, it was in Al Sif. So when you'll be walking here in Al Sif, you will see a lot of souvenir shops, and there you can negotiate the price. There's also goat souk and spice souk. So that's where you can get spices in traditional like environments, or goat souk where you can also have some souvenirs. So that's where you have to like negotiate perfume souk, whatever. Otherwise, yeah, I guess any major shopping mall would be helpful in that. They will have plenty of souvenirs there, especially around Dubai Mall and Burj Khalifa. Do you have any information how to take a PCR test in Dubai since we need to enter other countries? Yeah, so I'll try to find whether there's a place at the exhibition venue, but otherwise, as I said, just take Google Maps, take any hospital or PCR, give them a call, or look at their description on the Google Maps, usually, and then try to avoid the drive-bys, drive-in PCR test centers. Make it the just walk in. Yeah. Okay. Any other questions? If not, then yeah, I guess so we'll see you all in at the IAC, of course. And what I'm gonna do, I will probably send a follow-up email to everyone who left their contact details with a recording of this call, and B, with I'll probably include a link to the WhatsApp group because all of you were generous enough to leave your phone numbers. So I will send you an invitation also to the WhatsApp group. And then what I can promise is that I'll be keeping an eye on that group. If you have any questions while you're here, if you get in trouble when you arrive or you have any questions, we'll make sure to guide you to whatever ride is there. But otherwise, yeah, I will also share a few things how you can meet with us at the site. We'll be hosting a lot of activities at the conference, around the conference. So we're also working on some like party. I think it's going to be on Wednesday next week, where we'll be gathering everyone at one of the local venues to have a drink together. And yeah, just expect an email from us. We'll drop all the instructions there. Yeah, by the way, yeah, speaking of accommodation, recently 3 or 4 of my friends reported that they had really bad experience with the Airbnb because they were trying to get some savings, and they opted out for like affordable accommodation at Airbnb, and they had really bad experience with like dirty apartments, rude hosts, whatever. So my advice would be, if you can, go to one of those hotels, Ibis, Novotel, or whatever. And again, normal price at this high season would be unfortunately around $100 to $120 minimum. That's minimum. And yeah, try to end up at a hotel because they are nice. The Airbnbs, it's always fishy here, unfortunately. I mean, it's safe, it's okay, it's nice, but just I don't know for what reason in the last couple of months, a lot of my friends reported they had a really bad experience. Oh yeah,
or bad experience.
Yeah, good. Rick, a very good question that we forgot to cover. One of the specifics of the local internet is that all the voice over IP calls, except for the Microsoft Teams and Zoom, are banned here in the country. So when you get here, FaceTime, Facebook calling, WhatsApp calling, Telegram calling would not, Skype calling would not work at all. They just do not work. Either use VPN on top of the existing connection, or download the local app, which is free. It's called Botim. And that's like the local version of the FaceTime or the WhatsApp. And of course, they're not banned because government, will be looking at everything that's going on there. But yeah, like good points. Yeah, so none of the calls would work. Expect that, because a lot of people get in trouble because they get lost at the airport, they try to call their friends, and the calls would not work at all, unfortunately. So either you Zoom, for one-on-one calls, or just download Boteam or get a local SIM card. Okay. Yeah, so Rick, yeah, thanks for pointing that out. We forgot about that. Great, about the notes. Yeah. Yeah, Boteam surprisingly works really well. Yeah, and it's free to use. What else? We've got 7 minutes left from 90 minutes calling. So the app, I think it would work internationally, but of course you would want your counterpart in other country to also download the Boteam. So it's like WhatsApp, but like local version. Is it true that you need a SIM card to use Wi-Fi? No. Wi-Fi is okay at the coffee shops and the restaurants and the hotels, but this public Wi-Fi that they advertise everywhere, like Dubai Wi-Fi, whatever, it's just a piece of shit. It doesn't work. It's like you need like authorize, whatever. So yeah, but majority of the restaurants or coffee shops would offer you the Wi-Fi, like they have this password protected Wi-Fi networks, and if you ask for the Wi-Fi password, you get in. So usually there's no registration. In hotels, you will need to have, I think you're right, yeah, you will need to have like some kind of authorization while Facebook or text message or phone call, whatever, is usually at the hotels, but not all of them. I think it's quite rare. But yeah, at the conference itself, exhibition center, the hotels, the Wi-Fi would be free and you don't need a SIM card to use that.
We haven't covered one thing, just in case the guys are gonna rent a car. It's paying for the parking.
Yeah.
That's still confusing me in Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, so how to pay for parking in Dubai? The payments are done via text messages, and what you need to be, so you need to have local SIM card, unfortunately. You would need to have some balance there. So 1 hour of parking usually costs like $1.20, so like 4 dirhams. You need to look for this orange signs, and then send the text message. Oh shit, it's going to be hard to explain. Yeah, anyway, just look for these signs, look for this short code. And you have to send the text message in the right format to this number. And then the format would be the plate number, space, the number that you see here, space, number of hours. And then you get deducted from your balance like 4 dirhams, which is approximately $1. Yeah. Okay, what else?
Who looks more or less local, and they'll be able to help you, just in case.
Okay, finally, what I forgot to do is to talk a little bit about what's going on at the venue itself. So first of all, the event is going to take place in this area. So this is all one large, huge exhibition center. As I said, there'll be like 2-3 trade shows going on simultaneously there. And here, what you need to know is if you don't want to go anywhere, you just want to walk, McGettigan's is the Irish pub, served with beer. It's within walking distance. This Burger Fuel, and there's some people. So anyway, these are like restaurants that are not very cheap, but they serve good foods. This is how the metro station looks like. So you hop off the metro station, you go through all these cafes and restaurants, and then you walk into the exhibition center. So I guess the exhibition will take place either here or here, and you have plenty of coffee shops there as well. Yeah, one like place that I usually go when I am in the exhibition and I want to have a little walk. My favorite place here is called Some of Us. Some of Us. It's like 15 minutes walking, and it's a nice cozy place in walking distance from the water center, but you have to walk there, like it's 15, maybe 18 minutes walking there, but it's my favorite place around the block here. Otherwise, yeah, I guess that's it. There's also nice bar in Novotel. Yeah, here is another bar that I like. So it's at the opposite ends of the trade center. So we have Novotel, if you're more into like jazz and wine, and if you prefer more beer and sports bar, then you have Magneticus. So those will be the two choices that are literally inside the trade center. Yeah. Otherwise, I guess we're good. Finia, anything to add?
No, I think we've covered everything I could think about.
Cool. Well, okay, then thanks everyone. Once again, yeah, expect the call recording and the invitation to the WhatsApp group in your email box within today, tomorrow. And then, yeah, let's get organized in the WhatsApp, and then we'll be there to help you if you have any trouble or question about going the rounds, or you need just advice while you are here in Dubai as well. Yeah.
Yeah, if you are planning to go to Abu Dhabi, for example, let me know, guys. I'll give you the same guide, but for Abu Dhabi, slightly different.
Yeah. Cool. Great. 1 minute to go, and we'll be done here. If anyone wants to speak up, please do so. We can fade off with the same music that we started with. All right, have a good trip, guys, and see you next week.
Thank you so much, guys. See you next week.
Yep.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Hello. Thank you. And it was a very
welcome.
session.
You're welcome.
Senior, I have sent you a request on LinkedIn. Please accept so that if you have any question. And research is already added. Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
The music is awesome. Is it Arabic?
Yeah, I'll send you a link on Spotify.
Okay. Thank you.